We're trying to let the public know what's going on with the congestion pricing ideas that are out there. A committee is considering these ideas for congestion pricing. They'll be on Interstate 5 and Interstate 205 from the Columbia River south to where the two roads meet down near Tualatin, down that way. We want people to know what these problems are about. We want people to know the costs and the impact of congestion for everybody. If there's one thing that unites everybody in the Portland area, it's that nobody likes congestion and nobody likes traffic. This is an effort to try to do something about it, to try to find a plan that's good for the Portland area, Portland-Vancouver area. Congestion pricing is really kind of an array of different tools that can be used to increase charges on the road. You might see congestion pricing would be a toll lane on a highway, or you might see congestion pricing that tolls all lanes of a highway, or you might see congestion pricing that levies new charges only during a certain time of day. If traffic can be spread around different times of the day, everybody is going to have a better commute. If we can get more motorists to use alternatives, to use tolling lanes if they got to get someplace in a hurry, or if they want to use carpools or mass transit or to use some other alternate form of transit, everybody has a better experience when you get a greater diffusion on the roads. Clark County residents pay for the upkeep of Oregon roads that they use only when they buy gas in Oregon. We've got 70,000+ Clark County residents that are paying Oregon income tax, but none of that money goes to upkeep of the roads. The income tax money that they pay goes to help serve for public safety and other issues when they're at work for 8-10 hours a day or whatever it might be. The money raised from these tolls, the congestion pricing, would go into a special fund that was created by the legislature, and exactly how that would be used has not yet been set, but they'd be used for highway projects. One of the important things to remember is that this makes the trip better for everybody. There is a toll involved, yes, but what this means is that everybody has a better experience on the road. People are getting home quicker. There are not as many days with delays. It's a better experience for everybody on the road, and that's what people are finding out all over the world that have used this kind of congestion pricing. The toll is basically an incentive that helps people to change their trips to different times of day, to take different forms of transportation. When you're reducing the number of people on the road during the congestion, during the peak times, then you're going to reduce the congestion that is on the roads.
My name is Mark Moores. I'm from Vancouver, Washington. This project needs to be funded one way or the other. We're growing. We need to have a sustainable economy and not tax everybody that walks across the bridge, drives across the bridge, and make it happen. We need to have the max come across. We need to have a circle, go up Mill Plain. We need to have public transit that does something better. We can't have this old, crappy bridge that lifts.
Delighted to be here for the opportunity to learn more. Sadly, for the citizens of Clark County, there are a whole host of reasons that most of our citizens are against this, as we've got over 70,000 people a day who commute to Oregon, and they'd be paying more than their fair share of those tolls. They talk about value pricing. Question number one is, where's the value? In a sense, their whole goal is to inflict some financial pain and to find a point where if there's enough pain, people will get off I-5 and I-205. Well, where are those people going to go? As we all know, all the side roads are already congested, and they're going to make those side roads even worse? Come on, it makes no sense. Another interesting aspect is once they get the toll started, they never stop. This is supposed to be about reducing congestion. Question, when the roads are not congestion, will there be no tolls? Amazingly, in the state of Virginia last fall, they started a congestion pricing program. At 5:30 in the morning, when there was no congestion, drivers were having to pay $5.50 for the privilege of driving on that freeway. It's outrageous, and of course, that's part of why we too are concerned about it. At the end of the day, we want something that improves congestion, and what does that mean? They've got to fix the real bottleneck on I-5, and that's the Rose Quarter. Oregon, and they talk about it a little bit as part of the plan, wants to spend $450 million fixing the Rose Quarter. But sadly, they're going to add 0 new through lanes at the Rose Quarter for $450 million. Let me give you a comparison. The Rose Quarter is a 2-mile stretch of Interstate 5. They want to spend $450 million on it. We are now going to fix congestion on SR 14 between 164th and I-205. What's the state of Washington going to spend to add 2 brand new lanes to SR 14, 1 in each direction? Washington's going to spend $25 million to add 2 miles, 1 lane in each direction on SR 14. Oregon wants to spend $450 million, and they're going to add 0 new through lanes on I-5 at the Rose Quarter. That's a sad waste of money, and that's just one of the many concerns we have. And why should Washington citizens be paying for that? Half of the $450 million is going for community redevelopment. An OPB reporter told that to me at one of the Value Pricing Committee meetings. They want to build 2 concrete lids over the top of I-5 in the area of the Rose Quarter, and they want to put pedestrian areas, bicycle areas, some transit areas on top, but half of that $450 million is going to community redevelopment. That's why they don't have enough money to put more new through lanes at the Rose Quarter.
My name is Pauley. I work at Windermere Real Estate. I live in HAZEL and utilize the interstate corridor as often as I have to. If I can avoid it, I do. I have seen in the last 25 years the congestion grow and grow and grow. And we still had better schools, I believe. We had no state income tax and we had lower taxes. So it made it advantageous to buy over here. Plus, housing is less expensive. But now that the taxes are kind of evened out, once people leave here and go over there to work, which is 1/3 of our workforce, they still have to pay the Oregon income tax. Now they'll have to pay tolls, and I think they'll find it just as advantageous to stay in Oregon and not come here. I think it will deleteriously affect the real estate industry in Clark County, and I'm very devoted and very passionate about the 660 square miles that we have in this county. It's where I live, work, and play.